You're a homeowner or a building owner or an architect and you're getting spray foam insulation installed. I got a question for you. How do you prove it that the foam that you got, the plastic that you have received, is good plastic? How do you prove it? And if you're the spray foam guy that installed it, how do you prove it? Do you see the problem that we've got here? Hello, everybody. It's Mike with Spray Jones. I'm a spray foam contractor with 20 years experience spraying in Canada in harsh climates. 25 years I've been in the spray foam industry. I want to get into prove it. Prove it. Oh yeah? Prove it. I want to ask you to prove it. I want to be told, how can we prove it? That is going to be the theme of today. And if you're a spray foam installer, I want to know, how are you going to protect your business? Because this is a major consideration for me as a spray foam installer. How do I protect my business? How do I prove that what we did is correct? And how do I stay out of trouble? How do I stay out of lawsuits? How do I stay out of frivolous, annoying claims? That's what we're going to get into now. Claims, disputes, and zero proof. These are the three ghosts of the spray foam industry that haunt us wherever we go. Why? Because unlike all other traditional, conventional insulations and building materials, we are manufactured and installed simultaneously at site. Let me explain. Every other product that you buy is manufactured at a manufacturing facility. It's made there. Quality control, certificate of analysis, conformance reporting, ISO standards, whatever you want to call it, when it rolls out of the factory, they have got proof that the raw materials and the end product that they've made, that you are buying, meets a standard. Therefore, it's shipped to the wholesaler, and all you need to concentrate on is installation. So you can separate installation failures from manufacturing failures. It can be clear that you've got a manufacturer's defect and it needs to go back to factory versus a failure to install properly. With polyurethane foam insulation, we are both manufacturing and installing simultaneously. The manufacturing is happening right at the tip of the gun. A and B are meeting, and they're making the final product that you're paying for flying through the air and sticking to the substrate, whether it be concrete, rock, wood, metal, you name it, plastics. So there's a uniqueness in the spray foam industry, but it's also our strength, because this installing on site gives it this fully liquid, customizable installation in situ that is unlike any other product. And frankly, that's what you want to pay for. Liquid applied, conforms to all the irregularities on site. So you need it to not be in its final state when it's in the process of being installed. However, how do you prove that what you've made is good plastic? Because frankly, the homeowner, the building owner, the architect, you as the spray foam guy, you don't really know. Why? Because you set up, your machine reverses direction, viscosities change, temperatures change, ratio can change, the mix at the gun can change, and you have got no way with old-fashioned analog systems of measuring it, recording it, and seeing what's going on. It's just like the old-fashioned carburetors. You can set up the jets, you can set up the fuel-to-air ratio for a certain altitude, but you can't measure it as to what's going on in real time. For that, you need digital control. And this is where the prove it comes in. Prove to me that you've made a proper product. So if the architect, the engineer, the homeowner, the building owner comes to you and says, I don't think the spray foam is correct, I think something's off, or that the installation hasn't been done correctly, how are you going to prove it? You're going to cut into it? You're going to do a pull test? You're going to do a density test? You're going to do a visual inspection? Okay, fine. But these are all incredibly analog, outdated methods of validating and verifying that the spray foam is good plastic. No. If you want to prove what has been created, because remember, we're manufacturing on site, we as an industry, as a spray foam installer, I have got to have digital live streaming conformance equipment. I have to have a machine capable of measuring all of the live real-time data parameters that change the outcomes for good or for bad. So I need to know what the temperature of the fluid is in my drums, and I need to know the flow rate, how much flow is coming out of the drum into the back of the machine. I need to know that the product has been properly heated so that it's at the right viscosity level for processing. I need an actual gear-driven positive displacement pump. No longer am I dealing with a piston that's going up and down and reversing direction and does it violently and shakes and it moves and it creates cavitations and little disruptions and little bubbles. It's just a complete smooth laminar flow of this beautiful liquid that has been heated to the correct temperature. and now it's flowing out of the gear pump, and the gear pump can measure down to the 1/100th exactly the amount of displacement that it's putting. And then I put it down the line, and I can see the flow rate down the line, and I can see the temperature leaving the heater, and I can see the temperature going into the line, and I can turn the temperature of the hose on and off. My hose is the most advanced system of getting the product warm and finishing and keeping it warm. And all along the way, we're measuring flow rates, and we're measuring temperature, and it's verifying the actual ratio from where it left the proportioning system to it's being sprayed. And all of this, because all of it is electronically measured, not analog. We have the ability through sensors and electrons to feed all of that information back to the computer, to the ECM, the electronic control module, like to a data center. And now the machine is capable of monitoring it, verifying it, changing it in real time if it needs to be, putting things up, down, just like a fuel-air ratio on your car or your truck. Go to high altitude, go to Pikes Peak, it could be one thing, come back down to sea level, it's something else. I'll have a hot day, have a cold day. The computer is constantly measuring it in real time on tens of thousands of data points in real time, faster than any human brain can operate. And it's going to make the changes to maintain ratio, pressure, temperature, all of the things critical for making a proper plastic. Now, doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that sound like a literal no-brainer? Like, why would we not have that? Well, the reason is that the old-fashioned analog machines, they got the industry started, folks. In 1965, we didn't have all of the digital controls accessible that we have had now. But since the 1980s, the 1990s, and now into the 2000s, we have got the technology, we've got the sensors, we've got the computing power, we have got the algorithms, we've got the programs, and all of it in a small enough and affordable package that means that this is the way that we should be processing plastics, through digital control. Otherwise, it's just your word against theirs. It's what you wrote down in the book. It's what you saw going on. It's what you set the machine to, but you can't prove that that was the correct setting. We want actual digital controls, that it's within application parameters, maintained it the entire time, and that was captured and recorded all in real time. So 1, get you there. 2, keep you there. 3, prove it, validate it. Validation is key. What went on? Once we were correct, we stayed correct, and we can prove it now. Once I know what's going on with my equipment, that I'm actually making proper plastic and I'm recording it in real time, and that it's making sure that my installer stays on track. Now I actually have raw data coming into my data center on the machine that is capable of being held up in a court of law. Why? Because it's recording what my guys are doing. Just like a flight data box on an airplane. Yes, you have the pilots flying the airplane, but it's also recording what went on, if they flew it correctly or not. You can see that certain parameters had to be followed and set, because that got you on there and got you set up and got you spraying, and you're within the parameters set forth by the manufacturer, the people that actually make the raw plastic materials. And now we can tie two things together, what is supposed to be and is designed to be with what actually happened out in the field. We can get there, stay there, and prove it. Now we've got something that can protect our business. Validation of what's going on equals insurance for everybody. So the first person that's being insured is the spray foam contractor. You've got a high quality polyurethane plastic foam that has been manufactured into the drums at the highest possible ISO ASTM standards. So that box is checked. Now we come to site, we make sure that the site parameters are proper, we record it, but now we make sure that the settings on our machine and how we're going to process the liquid polyurethane is of the highest level, that it's on temperature, at viscosity, on ratio, downstream to the gun, and from drum to gun, it's on proper ratio. We can measure what's going on out there. We can see what's going on out there. We can make sure that what's going on out there is first correct. 2, we keep it correct. 3, we prove it. So as an installer, great. I've got absolute confidence that I've got the best polyurethane plastic in the drum, and that I've got the best possible processing equipment, proportioning equipment to actually make it into the final product that my customer wants. Now you, as the customer, you want to know that what's going into the walls and the roof and the foundation is proper. Why would you not? So how are you going to know And I hear this over and over again. How do I know that the spray foam guy did their job? It's so dependent on getting the right guy. The equipment bridges that gap. We use technology. Now it's not, do you have a virtuoso spray foam installer? Did you find the Chopin of the spray gun? Ah, oui. You don't need Chopin on the spray gun. What you need is the modern telemetry of a rocket. You need validation. You need the ability to measure what's going on and proving what's going on and keeping what's going on. That is your confidence. And all of this data is capable of making sure you don't have a problem and then proving when you don't. What do you do when disputes arise? I think. Well, what about thinking? Let's look at the data, get the raw data. What was the temperature? What was the ratio? What was the flow rates? All of this can be recorded. This is what provides insurance to the installer and to the end user. You as the spray foam guy, you want to make sure that you got good profit. You want to make sure you're not wasting foam, making poor foam. You will make better quality plastic foam with this system, with these methods. Wouldn't I want to be on ratio? Wouldn't I want to be on perfect temperature? Wouldn't I want to get extra 5 or 8% yield because of better processing efficiency? Of course I would. And as the consumer, oh my goodness, do I want to have disputes with the consumer? No, I want to be able to pull out a report and show them that we were correct, we did it correct, and that what they received is correct. And as you as the consumer, if I can produce a report that you are getting what you paid for, how much is that worth? Isn't that worth everything? Wouldn't it be to the fact that you wouldn't even want to hire somebody to put polyurethane foam into your project if they can't prove that you're going to get what you're paying for? I would think that would be a no-brainer. That's why I feel very passionate about this. You can hear it in my voice. I really believe that this is the future of our industry. We are manufacturing at site, and we have to be able to prove on site what we've done is correct. We have to deliver them a higher degree of quality that we were correct. It did mix. It did create good plastic foam. And then you've received what you've paid for. Contract fulfilled. You hired me. I did it correctly, and I can prove it. Win-win for each person. Therefore, validation is your assurance. You need it. As a spray foam installer, I absolutely need this technology to protect me and my business. As far as insurance is concerned, I'm talking about underwriting. I need to be able to show my third-party underwriters that we're doing our job right and that we will track it and prove it. This is going to mean that it will end disputes, false frivolous claims. We're on pressure, on ratio, on like everything on our side of the fence is done correctly. All right. And we can prove it. The second thing then is that my insurance company will be able to breathe easily. We know we're creating a high quality plastic in the industry and that the end user has got full assurance that what they're getting is correct. So I don't see how this can't be the future of the industry because so many objections are that, how do I know that I'm getting what I paid for? How do I know that it's correct? You just don't know. And they are correct. Those arguments, those objections to the spray polyurethane foam industry are totally legit and they're not going away. So what are you going to do about it? As a spray foam installer, as a person watching these videos that you like my content and you're like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting spray foam, then why are you not requesting and seeking out contractors that are going to be able to offer this kind of technology, this kind of conformance, this kind of assurance, this kind of validation? Anything else is a roll of the dice. And I used to despise those comments. I used to despise the comments on my videos that, oh, you never know what you're going to get. And I used to say, look, we can verify this. And we can to a certain degree, but it's analog. Yes, I can show you that I've sprayed foam like 1965, 1975, 1985, 1995, 2005. All those 40 years, 50 years that spray foam has been installed. Can you build a good product? Yes, you absolutely can. My house was sprayed that way. But can you prove it? How do you prove it? Well, up until now, it's just got to be the proof's in the pudding, right? You're just going to have to wait. You're just going to have to see. You're just going to have to see. Does it crack? Does it disbond? And these are the objections. No, I can prove the moment of install before the drywall is going up, that we've made proper plastic foam according to the manufacturer's specifications. So why would we not want this? This ensures your business. This protects your business. Wait until you are in a dispute. Spray foam guys and ladies, wait until you're in a dispute about what was sprayed, when it was sprayed, how cold, what you did, and wait until you've got some flesh-eating velociraptor lawyer that wants to rip you a new one, and you can't back up what you did, how you did it, where you did it, when, on. Can't be done and you know it. We need this kind of conformance. This is what's going to move the industry ahead. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have an industry without this, because why would we want to go back to not being able to prove it? Why would we not be wanting to offer everything that I've said in this video if you've stayed this long? I believe that this is the future. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going to be getting equipment that is capable of doing this, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. I hope that you are hearing and seeing me as our viewers, that this makes sense. Spray Jones is trustworthy. We've always been the leader in the best knowledge, the best advice, speaking truth from day one, telling it as it is, calling a spade, whatever analogies you want to use. I've always spoken truthful. I'm speaking to you truthful right now. I believe this is what we've got to do to protect our businesses, to protect our clients, to protect the homeowners. We need validation report. We need digital equipment capable of doing it. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to spray this way, and I'm going to show you how it's done. And I hope every last one of you watching this, subscribe, go to thinksprayfoam.com, join my online community, support this revolution that needs to be happening by joining thinksprayfoam.com. In doing so, we're going to move the industry forward. We're going to take back the necessary ground that's been lost due to fear, indecision, and bad installation.